Shazam, 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 Shazam. How are you guys doing today? Wow, we had a great summer. I hope you guys did a lot of personal activities that makes you happy and spend time with your family and do all the nice fancy stuff. It's amazing. So what I want to discuss this morning with you, over the last 20 years, I've used real estate for everything to support all my financial needs, my kids' education, my lifestyle choice, my retirement, early retirement. I use real estate for my marriage and my divorces by simply building a real estate portfolio. So I'm a bit of an extremist. So you probably figured out by now. When I get something and it works, I latch onto it, I don't let up. I keep going and keep going and keep going. Okay? So real estate has been my world for the longest while. If some of you guys been following me, you're going to see that. Okay? So here's the thing. I grew up in a middle class home where food and shelter and water was always there. Never had much clothing. So I never got comfortable. I never feel comfortable wearing other people's brand. So brand name was not a necessity in my household. It was not important to my household, and it wasn't important to me as an adult. All I had was 2 shirts and 2 pants, sneakers, a slipper, and 1 shiny shoe we were on Sunday. So my life was pretty simple. So I had the basic essentials, food, shelter, water, and clothing, but it was very comfortable, and we had that all our time. So I don't really know poverty, but I saw poverty all around me. It was every day, everywhere it was poverty. The lack of, the stealing, the begging, you name it. It was all around me. And from observing that as a child, I never want me to be in that situation or want my kids to be in that situation either. So I decided to work my ass off to never duplicate or never have poverty in my house. But as a child growing up, I always asked one simple question. How do poor people get comfortable so fast? Never understand that. And if this is your situation, it's very important that you understand this. How do poor people get comfortable so fast? How do you make just a little bit of money and you start buying fancy stuff, expensive vacations, all kind of brand name things, shoes, purses, whatever, cars? How do poor people, how does a person who come from poverty, who grew up poor, maybe 5, 6 kids in one small little house or one little room or whatever your situation was, that you just make a little bit of money and all of a sudden you think that's an opportunity to splurge when your next generation finances has not been satisfied. You have not even put together money for the next generation or even your own financial future. And this is a question that I still ask today. And you should think about that. Why you grew up in poverty, why you grew up lacking, and you're so comfortable that so you make a little bit of money, you start buying fancy stuff. Because if you do that, it tells me one thing. You're leading your next generation into the same poverty direction that you just came from. And the next thing I see people doing, they're paying down your house with little or no mortgage. When your kids, your next generation, is paying lots of money in rent. So you have no mortgage in your primary home, and your kids are paying $2,000 and $3,000 and plus in rent because the market rent is very high. If that's your situation, you're sending your next generation into a financial disaster with no way to succeed. With the rent market so high, how do they save to buy their first home or second home or anything at all? So this is the way I think as a young man growing up. So when I started on the road to wealth, it was very, very easy to understand what to do and what not to do. I grew up seeing poverty all around me. So it was easy not to duplicate their mistakes. So what did I do? I implemented a strategy called No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind. That was my strategy for myself and my kids. No child left behind. And what it is, is my focus. The focus was to hold myself accountable for how my children learn and achieve financial success. So any child of mine should not be left behind. So I hold myself as a parent accountable for how they learn about money and how they achieve financial success. The major focus on No Child Left Behind, it was to close the achievement gap by providing all my kids with a fair, equal, leading, and significant opportunity to obtain a high quality financial status in life. That was so important to me. Okay, and if you taught me when I was 19 years old, it's the same thing I tell you today. It hasn't changed. My next generation have to be financially successful. Now, I'm creating a platform for them. Whether they maximize it, it's totally up to them. But I giving them a fair shot at life so they could make themselves someone. Every other communities are doing it. They're going and putting large down payment in the house for the kids so their kids get a fair shot at financial success for the next generation. And how did I do that? Because I started off with nothing. Simply flipping equity. Buy one house, take the equity out, buy a second and a third. Child number 1, child number 2, child number 3, child number 4, child number 19, child number 20. No, I ain't gone that far yet. That's how simple it is. Flipping equity. Taking money from one property, put to the next, to the next, to the next. And because I started early, I was able to create major success in real estate. I was able to build myself an early retirement portfolio. And I still able to produce mass wealth in real estate for my children. I'm the perfect example, folks, of the more you give, the more you shall achieve. When I started the road of wealth, everything was about the next generation. When I put the next generation first, I don't make silly mistakes. I have to calculate how I'm going to invest. I don't invest in high risk stuff. I don't invest in stuff to lose money, because it was invested for the next generation. It was never about me. It was about creating financial security for the next generation. So this is what I'm doing. I want to encourage you to either continue if you already started the process, or you can start the process to achieve financial success by simply building yourself a real estate portfolio. Now, so what I'm doing, I'm opening up my office to you and your family. You can come and sit and have a one-on-one conversation with me. And we can discuss how we can get you expanding, extending, or starting your financial journey for your next generation. My direct line is 647-237-3642. Shazam to your success. See you then. Remember, the next generation needs us. The next generation needs us. Every other community are building wealth for the kids. We have to stop being so self-observed. We want nice cars, we want nice clothes, we want nice bags, we want nice ears, we want nice shoes. That's about us. When does the next generation enjoy a nice life? If we don't put things in place for them, they can be doing the same thing we're doing. Going to school, high student loan. Train box in a factory, working hard like a dog for little or no money. If you have the opportunity to build a portfolio and at least give them a shot, give them a fighting chance at life. Okay? Let's have a conversation to your success. See you then. Find Corbin. I'm out.